and they do put on a good show. And but you just if if you're living in Canada for the most part, you almost can't help at least end up seeing them at least once or something like that. And thing is, the tickets are always cheap, and or a friend of a friend will buy a bunch of tickets, so everybody's going, and the sort of thing. But so that's happening, and that's pretty much what's going on. But I thought those first few ones were pretty funny. I just can't believe they're putting a song from the playlist temporarily because a fan saying it's got something to do with baseball. It's not like saying baseball is awesome, go Kansas, like.
Well, that is very true. It's kind of, it's alluding to it, I suppose. I pulled up here where she says, no, I'm just seeing where it was increased popularity because of the Royals. I'm not seeing anything where she was inspired by it. Like, I thought I remember hearing that, but I'm not seeing anything here.
See, it's like, I don't know if, like, even if the team was using it as a one of their songs to the series. I mean, it's possible, but I haven't really been watching it because I mean, even though like both teams barely made the wild card and got the World Series, really good for both of them, but still not very exciting teams. At least not on my side. I haven't really been watching it. I haven't really been paying attention, so I don't even know who's winning the series to be honest. But yeah, once the Tigers were done, I was done. So.
Is that your team?
Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
So yeah, once they were done, I was done, and I mean, I still kind of paid attention. And then when I got the series, I was like, all right, these teams were all right. There's some good ball, but it was still kind of boring. I was like, I just have no interest. Like I'm done. Normally, I'll watch like at least one or two games of a finale, like the World Series or the Super Bowl or the Stanley Cup sort of thing. But if the teams are boring, I might not even get through half a game just because like if it's not exciting to me, there's no point for me to watch it.
Yeah, I have a really hard time watching baseball, period, because I just find it so, no offense to anyone who loves it, but it's really not my thing. And I grew up having to go to all my brother's games, and I would just be sitting out there and be so hot, and I was trying to follow what was going on, but it was not my thing.
So, for me, though, I'd much rather beat the game. The only time baseball is exciting to watch is during the playoffs on TV. Other than that, I really don't watch on TV too much because, I get bored. I'd rather be in the stands watching it than sitting at home on my couch watching it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but that's just me. And, but obviously there are some things I won't watch at all on TV just because, sports-wise, just because they're too mind-numbing. And I don't know how people sit there and watch it. The biggest one and number one on the list is golf. I don't know how people do it. I can't. I just start nodding off. I get bored.
Me too. I do not get it at all.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's not my favorite. Like I play once in a while, and I'm mediocre at best, and I got no problem saying that. And yeah, but it's still like but sitting and watching, it's like, oh, there's this the perfect cure for insomnia.
It's so true. But why is it so exciting? Or for me at least, when you're at putt-putt golf and you're watching other people play putt-putt, I don't know why. For me, it's very exciting. So I don't know what the difference is between watching putt-putt and normal golf. But for some reason, putt-putt is so much more exciting.
Putt-putt's quick. Golf,
yeah.
Golf isn't. Golf is very slow.
Very true.
And
they don't have cool sculptures.
Yeah. no clown mouth to toss it into, or the windmill, or.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't get. I can't sit there and watch regular golf. Steeing up, yes, caddy for the 3-wood. Gets 3-wood out. He's got about 80 yards to go to hit the green. Winds up. Oh, the wind caught a little bit, so he's gonna lose a few yards on that. It's like what? Hey. So, last time we're hearing is ball on the tee or getting a 3-wood, and that's it. It just so yeah. It's I don't know. But even the guys commentating it, I mean, they really, really, really have to love it to do this without getting bored to death. I mean, or even he's having a few drinks or something, make it interesting,
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. My aunt was married to a guy who was trying to go pro, and he would just hustle people with his golf game, and he'd be out on the links all the time. He'd be like, "Oh, hey guys, I would love to stay, but I gotta go hit the links. I gotta keep my game up." And you try to ask him what was so exciting about it, and I think it's just because he was hustling people. But his whole dream was to go pro. That was his whole aim, and I just couldn't even understand how he was able to stay awake long enough to, to try to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I don't mind playing it once in a while, but I can't sit and watch it. I really can't. I mean, I think the last time I did, I just went to the driving range, and that was like maybe 2-3 months ago. I know. I went up to visit my dad in Michigan, and went to the driving range, and I think I talked about this. Like I pulled a Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. You know, I took a running start at it, and I wound up, and I drove it 250 yards. Like, holy crap!
Wow.
And yeah, I tried it again. Not even close.
Oh.
Not even.
When that happens?
Not even close. It's like, well, at least I got it once, but no, it was fun, and a couple of times, like, I hooked it, and it's a good thing there's no one else around because it ricocheted off the wall. So. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I mean, like, but yeah, that's why, like I said, I'm mediocre at best. But no one got hurt, no one got hit. But yeah, it ricocheted a couple of times because I hooked it instead of being it flat. So it happens.
Nice.
But other than that, let's get into your blogs. What do you got coming up, and what you've been working on?
Okay, well, I have a little music news section that I'm gonna do this week. Some indie artist news and stuff, and then movie review. For this movie called The Drop. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Okay, well, it stars Tom Hardy and James Gandolfini, and it's basically just a crime thriller set in the winter or Christmas time afterglow in Brooklyn, New York. And two things happen to this really ordinary guy who's this barkeep, played by Hardy. The bar that he works at is robbed, and he rescues a pit bull puppy from a trash can who's been brutally beaten. And over the course of, well, I guess you'd say a few weeks time frame, some events start to match up, and the question of, who you have this poor dog, who's behind the robbery, all this stuff kind of starts to converge. And it's just this really interesting character study. It's a slow burn. I was riveted. I thought it was really good. Michael Roscom, whose film Bullhead was nominated for Best Foreign Film, I think it was 2 years ago. That was his feature film debut, and now he's back, and he gets nominated for an Oscar. Here you see his English language debut, and you can get a very good sense over why he was nominated and recognized. This is a really good thriller, and quite frankly, I've been coming on here talking about a lot of the movies that I haven't enjoyed. I really did like this movie, so it was refreshing to finally have a movie that I thought was really good.
Right on. Speaking of movies you didn't like, a buddy of mine worked today told me, like you said, I've seen Gone Girl, and I said, well, what'd you think? He's like, no, I thought it was pretty decent. I was like, oh, I was like, well, cool. Like I said, no, like my blogger wasn't a big fan of it, and we kind of talked about it a little bit. So I said, I still haven't seen it. Like I said, I like I like the soundtrack, but I haven't seen the movie, so I can't speak for the movie. And so he said, well, how was it? He goes, yeah, it was pretty decent. He goes, the ending was lacking a little bit. He says, they left a couple of things unanswered, and it's like, it's like I wonder if they're gonna do a Gone Girl 2, The Return of Ben Affleck.
Wow, that wouldn't surprise me.
And he said, if they did that, it probably lost like 10 minutes because everything would be resolved.
Well, that's true. They did leave a little bit to your imagination. I'm really interested to know why people didn't. When I saw the ending, I thought, that works for me. I wasn't left particularly cold by it at all. But I guess people who love Ben Affleck and Ben Affleck's character were really, that's why they didn't enjoy it. I didn't care about his character, so that's perhaps why I didn't care. I'm not trying to give anything away, but I'm just saying. I've come up with a buzz term for people who love Ben Affleck. It's called being afflected. This is where you've been afflicted by the power of Ben Affleck. I have yet to experience it, but I mean, people who like him really, really like him. But I guess he's got something going for him that I mean, he doesn't afflict me. But, I mean, I don't know. He's working on a lot of people, and he's made a comeback that a lot of actors wouldn't have been able to make. So I guess that is a testament to his popularity, and people do want to see him still.
Yeah, no, it's true. Um, oh crap! I wish I can remember now. Um, there's another fun fact that I think it was he brought it up. It was a role that was supposed to be played by someone else, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I'll try to remember it if I can. But anyways, with Ben Affleck, I don't mind him. Like he's not my favorite, but I don't like hate him either. I mean, like because more or less the stuff I've seen him in is like obviously lots of the people seen like Good Will Hunting, that sort of thing. And things he did a few of the Jay and Silent Bob movies, the Kevin Smith.
Hmm.
So I mean, he was in the movie Dogma. He was in their movie Mallrats. And Mallrats, he was a manager at an upscale clothing store called Fashionable Male, and just the biggest douche in the world, right? So, and then he was in actually no, he was in Chasing Amy as well because he was an artist who drew a comic book based on Jay and Silent Bob. So. You see him pretty much all through the movies, and like I said, like he's not my favorite, but he's not bad. But I know like I'm not gonna love everything he does. Like if it's boring, then yeah, I'm gonna be bored by it.
Yeah, and he's someone who really just doesn't hold my interest as an actor. People get very, oh, he's so handsome. That can only carry you so far if you don't have the talent. For me, he doesn't really have the talent to back it up. I will say the only Ben Affleck movie where I thought he was okay in, and it's because he was just cast so well, was the movie Changing Lanes with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah,
Have you seen
yeah,
that?
yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, I thought it was a phenomenal movie, and I thought, oh, he's playing the perfect role for him, and so I believed it. But whenever I'm watching him in anything else, I cannot stop thinking that's Ben Affleck. That is Ben Affleck. He's not transformative. And it's just like this movie I was talking about, The Drop. You have this actor Tom Hardy. He's very transformative. You don't recognize him in anything. Everything is very different. There are little nuances there. So. For me, I wish he was as big a star as Ben Affleck is right now. And just kind of, I guess I'm bitter.
Well, I'm just surprised Daredevil didn't kill his career.
Me too. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be the death nail. And I did. But, and then he recoups with these art movies, and now he's back. And then, one thing that just recently came out when he's promoting Gone Girl was about the backlash that he received about being cast as Batman, and he was saying, you guys haven't even seen me in this role yet. All this, judgment that you haven't even seen me, and people just automatically assume I'm going to be bad. So when they see it, basically the intention is that people are going to be blown away. Dude, we saw you in freaking Daredevil. You already played a superhero. What do I need? What more do I need to know?
Exactly. Speaking of superheroes, so more likely to take us to the end. But the next 10 years, Marvel's gonna be making like a bunch of movies, superhero movies. So there'll be Wonder Woman, there'll be the Justice League, there'll be a second Justice League. They're gonna be Batman versus Superman. There'll be an Aquaman movie for some reason. They're gonna redo the Green Lantern and a Green Lantern. It was funny because this is on the Tribe app. They were showing the movies that they were gonna do. And they're pretty much showing who's playing them. And I don't have the names, but I know I can get them and put them up online. But anyways, it was funny because when they got to the Green Lantern, they're like played by someone other than Ryan Reynolds.
No.
So it was pretty funny. But the thing with Aquaman, which always cracks me up, is South Park did their own kind of Justice League takeoff. It was pretty funny, except it was religious ahead. So it was Jesus. It was Buddha, John Smith, Tanzu. There's one more. What's his name? Moses. And they have one more sidekick, and his name is Seaman. So. You can imagine now they're bugging. They're like, and they call him Seaman. It's Seaman. Well, okay, whatever you say, Seaman.
Oh, see, it finally hit me.
Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, come on, this is an easy one here.
I thought, could it be? Is it what I'm thinking? Then I was like, oh, okay.
But so when I see Aquaman now, that's pretty much what I think of. I don't think that's probably one of the DC movies or the Marvel movies I'm not going to go see.
Yeah, see, I Aquaman doesn't really do anything for me either, and I not for your reason, but just because it's just I don't know, it's gonna be